We are covering the critical distinction between a broker-dealer and an investment advisor for the Series 65 exam. The core difference the exam will test you on revolves around compensation. Broker-dealers and their agents are paid for transactions through commissions. An easy way to think about this is that they are in the business of effecting securities transactions. For example, when a client wants to buy 100 shares of a stock, the agent executes the trade and earns a commission. Investment advisors and their representatives, or IARs, are paid for giving advice. This compensation comes in the form of fees, which could be a percentage of assets under management, an hourly rate, or a flat fee for a financial plan. A common exam trap is the concept of a wrap fee account. These accounts bundle advisory services, brokerage, and custody for a single fee. Because advice is an explicit, charged-for component, managing a wrap fee account is considered an advisory activity, and the person managing it must be registered as an IAR. The second major distinction is the standard of care. Broker-dealers are held to a suitability standard. This means any recommendation must be suitable for the client based on their investment profile. Investment advisors, however, are held to a much higher fiduciary standard. A fiduciary must always act in the absolute best interest of the client, putting the client's interests ahead of their own. The exam will test this with scenario questions. For instance, a broker-dealer agent could recommend a suitable mutual fund with a high commission. This is allowed. An IAR in the same situation would be required to find a lower-cost alternative, if one existed, that met the client's needs, because the fiduciary duty requires minimizing costs. A frequent point of confusion on the exam is dual registration, where an individual is registered as both an agent of a broker-dealer and as an IAR. The key to answering these questions is to determine which role the person is playing in the scenario, and that almost always comes back to compensation. If they are receiving a commission for a trade, they are acting as an agent and are held to the suitability standard for that trade. If they are charging a fee for advice, they are acting as an IAR and are held to the fiduciary standard. The exam will try to trick you by having a duly registered person give advice that is incidental to a trade. As long as no special compensation is charged for that advice, they are still acting as an agent. The moment a separate fee is charged for advice, they have crossed into the investment advisor role. A simple phrase to remember this is IAs are fiduciaries. The letters I and A for investment advisor are followed by the F for fiduciary. For free practice questions, AI-powered explanations, and more exam prep tools, visit openexamprep.com. That's openexamprep, all one word, .com.